Okay, this video is going to be about plot holes in The Last Jedi. Granted, there are a lot of plot holes in this film. However, I am going to go over the major ones, basically the ones big enough to fit that giant space cow through. Number one plot hole for me has to be Leia and how she was able to survive being sucked into the vacuum of space. Rian Johnson's on record as saying that this was a survival instinct, her ability to kind of Mary Poppins, superwoman it through space to get back to the ship. And even if we accept that, how on earth was Leia able to breathe or create some kind of ice crystal bubble over her face while still out in space? Rian Johnson goes on the record as saying this is a stretch, and I would have to agree this was a major stretch. And to me, this gave the movie a quality of ridiculousness. I felt like it was silly. I felt like it was cheapening the movie. I mean, these films are already leaning towards the cheesy side, and I felt like this just took it over the top. Alright, next plot hole for me is Snoke. He is supposedly so all-powerful that he can create this force time call between Rey and Kylo. He's so all-powerful that he could foresee that Rey was going to come on her own to that magical red room and hang out with them, and he's also powerful enough that he could essentially take over the whole galaxy possibly. He has this massive force called the First Order, and yet what we see is that he's ultimately bested by his second in command. Come on, Snoke, weren't you paying attention in Evil History 101? Darth Vader murdered the Emperor. You think that you would at least want to avoid that major downfall of, all-powerful evil leader. Okay, next major plot hole was this whole secret side mission between Rose and Finn on the casino planet. What I don't understand is what the chances of having two master codebreakers would be on that planet. Never mind the fact that Benicio del Toro was incredibly creepy in this role. I mean, he's a really creepy guy to begin with, but I really didn't like him. He seemed like he was on some sort of mind-altering substance every time he spoke. But honestly, it was so hard to find this master codebreaker that they had to have this call with Maz, who's in the middle of some kind of armed conflict but still has time to talk to them. And she tells them to go to this planet, and yet somehow there's two master codebreakers on this planet. Doesn't make sense to me. Big plot hole. Okay, next big plot hole for me has to do with Luke. Luke's on this planet, supposedly to die. He wants to hang out with these funny, frog-looking keepers of the ancient Jedi temple and just think about how much his life sucks and how many bad decisions he made and let the galaxy go to shit. Okay, fine. How is Luke all of a sudden so super powerful that he can do this astral force projection? A, that was a big problem for me. B, how did he know where to do it? And if in fact he's so powerful that he can do that, why didn't he do something like create a protective bubble around the remaining resistance fighters? Or better yet, he could do some kind of Neo thing and he could just stop all the laser fire mid-air. It's a slippery slope, you see what I'm saying? All of those things would be ridiculous. I found this astral force projection ridiculous. I did not like it. Big plot hole for me. The Last Jedi, filled with plot holes big enough to fit a space cow through after she's eaten 10 porgs. Comment down below and tell me what you thought of it. Did you think there were plot holes? What were the biggest plot holes for you? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you also hated The Last Jedi like I did, give it a big thumbs up. I leave you with this parting thought, help us, J.J. Abrams. You're our only hope.